got some crazy stories. I got a story to tell y'all about a dude that I met. What happened to him? I thought it was crazy. Now that I have a puppy, I kind of understand, but anyways, what's up everybody? I hope that y'all are doing wonderful. I am feeling good. I am feeling great. What's going on everybody? Since I have been doing a lot of reflecting, I was thinking about some of my past dating experiences, and I just thought it would be cool to share a little story time with you all. So here is one of my very first stories of when I met somebody from online dating. I'm pretty sure it was possibly POF. Okay, let me tell y'all the story. All right, I'll make this quick because I don't have story time etiquette. So this was back, I don't know, I was like in college. Let's say maybe this was about 7 years ago. And I had started getting on POF to try to meet and mingle with some people or whatever. So you know how you get on there, you create your profile, you talk to people here and there, send messages and all of that good stuff. So there was a guy that would always message me on there, and we did exchange numbers and we would talk. But I'm the type of person, I've always been like this. If you're not gonna show me that you're being consistent, I'm not gonna take you serious. Like, I'm probably gonna give you a hard time when you do hit me up, because it's like, if you really trying to get somewhere with a woman, you need to be consistent, right? Boom. Okay, so I didn't like him. He would message me, he would kind of message me around the same times. It would be the evening time, and it seemed to always be when I was in class. So that would kind of make me mad, because I'm like, I think I probably did want to talk to him, but it just wasn't, he wasn't giving what I needed him to give for me to be happy with when he did reach out and communicate. So again, this one particular day, he hit me up and I was in class, and I remember leaving out of class and I told him, I said, you always call me at this time, and I've told you before, I'm in class, woo woo woo, all that good stuff. And I just straight up had an attitude with him, like I was mean to him. But when he would reach out, me being me, I would still communicate with him. So long story short, I remember one time he ended up calling me after class. We were able to talk a little bit longer, and the vibes were good. So that gave me enough time to kind of make the decision to stop being as mean as I was. You know, he gave me a little more time to kind of get to know him and understand him, and so I was cool with that. So we began talking a little bit. Fast forward to now, it's time for us to get to know each other, like actually meet in person. And I used to always be nervous to meet people in person. I was very sheltered. I started out straight out of high school being married. So me being back into the dating scene was like super scary for me. But since I was so young, I was like, dang, if I don't try to put myself out there, what I'm gonna do, just be an old cat lady? Like, so I was like, nah, it's just me being young and not talking to nobody, that's not gonna work for me. So he and I, we decided to finally go ahead and meet. Again, I didn't know a lot about him. We would just talk every now and then, but I will say he was tall. So I think that's why I probably gave him so many chances, which when I was young and dumb, I used to have this thing, I only wanted to date dudes taller than me. You gotta be 6'5" and above to ride this ride, you feel me? And he meet all of the criteria that I like, the typical tall, dark, and handsome, literally, right? So when it came time for us to exchange information and want to meet and link up, he did tell me that he had a very busy week, but he did want to see me. And he was like, he had been so busy because he was moving into his new place, yada, 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 all of this. And he was like, I don't really know if I'm going to have time to carve out for us to go and be on a date or whatever. Cool for me, because I used to be so nervous. Honestly, meeting somebody just in the car or at their place, worked for me. It wasn't the safest thing, but that back then I wasn't as scary and people wasn't as crazy, at least not the people that I was talking to. So he was telling me, since he was just now moving into his new place, that he would like for me to come over and all of that good stuff. I was excited because I'm like, cool, after being, you know, after leaving a marriage, you're used to having a home, you're used to men that have certain things. So me going into the dating world as like a young 22-year-old woman, it was still dudes out here that was living at home with their parents. They didn't have their own car or transportation or jobs and stuff like that. So I had came across a few dudes that still lived at home or didn't have cars. So me talking to him and him saying that he had just moved into his new place, I was like, okay, bet you seem to be doing okay for yourself or whatever. Doing good for himself. So in my mind, I'm like, oh, he doing good for himself. He just moved. He got his apartment. Fresh new start, fresh beginnings. Cool. So we decided to go ahead and link, and he invites me to his place. So now I'm nervous because I done talked all this big shit, act like I ain't like him, and now it's time for me to meet him in person. And I want to say we probably went back and forth talking very briefly for like a month or maybe 2 months on the phone talking. So when I say I didn't know much about him, I really didn't know much about him, but the sheer fact that he was tall, dark, and handsome, and he was fresh having his new place. I thought, you know, yeah. So we decided to go ahead and link up one day, and he was like, you can go ahead and meet me at my place, and he gives me the address. So remind you, at the time I had been in Houston for a while, but me, I'm originally from Galveston, so me living up here in Houston and driving all over Houston was it was a challenge for me. It was a challenge for me, and when he gave me the address, I looked it up, and it happened to be on the north side of Houston. If any of y'all are from Houston, everybody knows that Houston does not even mess with the north side of its own city. So what does that mean for me? I'm just a small town girl living in the outskirts, you know? So once I saw that it was in the hood, I was a little nervous. But that didn't stop me one bit. Didn't stop. So I'm excited. I hit him up. I let him know, okay, I'm about to be headed over there. You know, I got me and my little whip. I'm in school. I'm raising my daughter. I got my own place. I'm freshly divorced, all that good stuff. So I'm like, okay, let's get the ball rolling to some normalcy here, you know, because I was just 20 something. I was feeling like an old 40-year-old woman who had been married, been through a divorce, and lived all over the world, but that wasn't the case. So I go ahead and decide to link up with him at his place. So I drive over there. I'm nervous as hell because, you know, it's dark. I'm in the hood. I don't know where I'm going. So I drive over there to his house. It was about maybe a 35-minute drive from where I live. So I get over there. It's looking real suspect. They got random people walking around. He live in one of them apartments where it's a camera planted right there at the gate soon as you come in. There's a camera at the trash can. There's a camera looking at you. So I'm like, okay, well, if anything do pop off, you know, the camera should catch it. But we all know in places like that, the camera never works, right? So I'm nervous. So I'm in my car like, okay, trying to freshen up, look cute or whatever, because this is a dude I've been talking big shit to. I'm thinking I wasn't gonna never meet him because I wasn't interested. But something happened to where, I don't know if the nigga sent me a better picture. He told me how tall he was. He's like 6'6". So I was like, oh yeah, bet. And he was chocolate too. Yeah, y'all already know. Anyway, so I called him. I was like,
hey, I'm downstairs. You gonna come get me or whatever?
So it took him a minute. And so while I was waiting, I'm talking about people crossing in front of the car, behind the car. So I'm like, damn, nigga, I'm a little nervous. So finally I start to see him coming down. So now I'm real nervous. I'm like, okay, yeah, he definitely tall, you know. Ooh. So he comes out to get me, and now I feel like this little girl. I get out the car. As soon as I get out the car, you know, he's real quiet. He's not being extra or anything. He was like, you finally decided to come. And so now I'm blushing because I'm out the car now. He's giving me a hug, and I'm pretty tall. I'm 6 feet tall. So this is why a man's height is really important to me. So I'm 6 foot tall. You know, I'm getting out the car. He's giving me a hug, and you know, my head lays right here in his chest. So I'm like, ooh. So, you know, he's like, okay, you can go ahead and come up. So we're walking up or whatever. I'm smelling weed. I'm hearing loud music. Somebody dog come out on the patio barking. I'm like, oh shit. So, you know, I'm just like, okay, now I'm like, okay, whatever. So we get up there to his apartment, and he's like, you know, excuse the mess, you know, I'm moving, I just moved in and all this good stuff. And I mean, it's just random shit everywhere, as if, you know, he just moved. And I'm really not paying attention because I'm still nervous. And this is my first time after a long time of even interacting with somebody, right? So we upstairs again. Like I said, it's random shit everywhere. Technically, there's really nowhere to sit. So he's just showing me around briefly, and again, there's shit everywhere. So I'm not really paying attention to much of anything. I'm just, you know, following his lead. He's talking, telling me this is my place, you know, the kitchen right here, and there's random stuff everywhere. And I'm the type person, if it's chaotic, my nerves get bad, and no, I'm not really paying attention because now I just want to go away. I want to grab a Snickers and I want to get the hell up out of here. So he's showing me everything. He's showing me the kitchen, the room, the bathroom. And I remember he shows me his room. He shows me he's showing me everything, the closet. So it's like nothing to hide. He's like, this the closet right here. Cuts on the light, flicks the light off or whatever. And then he goes to the room, and there's a cage with his puppy in it. I forgot the puppy's name, but he's like, oh, come here, so-and-so, you ready to meet your new mommy? And so I'm all like,
yeah, we about to have a puppy together and all this stuff. I'm the new mommy, yeah. I'm the new mommy. You hear him? I'm your new mommy. So
I'm like, feeling all some kind of way about it. So he's like, you ready to meet your new mommy? I'm kind of scared of dogs too, and I saw that it was a pit, so I'm like, whoa there, buddy, hold on. I'm like, you about to take him out the cage? Don't take him out the cage just yet. You know, it's too much going on. It's a little messy. You just moved. We're in the hood. I'm scared, and you got a dog I'm scared of. But you know, he's talking to the dog, playing with the dog or whatever. Sorry, hold on, this little thing. Keep the dog playing with the dog or whatever. And again, we didn't have nowhere to sit. So he was like, I'm so sorry. He was like, I just got this TV. He was like, I'm gonna be getting a couch set and stuff soon. He was like, but I was watching basketball. And so he had the TV on basketball. I think at the time, maybe it was maybe a March Madness game going on or something. So we was gonna sit there and watch basketball together until we decided to go figure out what we was gonna eat. So he tells me, he was like, well, you can sit right here. He make me a little pallet on the floor with the big new TV, and I wasn't tripping because, you know, he just moved. I give people grace. So he's like, you can go ahead and start watching the game. That way I'm gonna go take a shower, and then when I'm out, we can go grab something to eat. Okay, cool, bet. So he was like telling the dog, he was like, you gonna sit with your new mommy? You gonna sit with your mommy? And I wasn't thinking nothing of it. I wasn't hearing nothing, wasn't thinking nothing with him saying new mommy, or, you know, I'm thinking, oh, okay, that's cute. We about to have a little doggy pup together or whatever. So he leaves the dog out of the cage and he goes to take a shower. So I'm sitting there looking around, you know, I'm like, okay. You know, us girls, our mind goes fast. I'm over here like, yeah, I can help him decorate because it's looking a mess, or he need help with that. So I'm looking at ways how I can insert myself and help, right? So the dog walking around or whatever, he's in the shower, and maybe about 5 minutes go by, I'm just sitting there. You know, I'm watching the game a little bit, and I look over, the dog comes over to me, and the dog had something in his mouth. And he walks over like right at my feet where I'm sitting at, because I'm sitting on the floor like I'm sitting now. And the dog walks over and he drops what he has in his mouth. And so I'm like, what does he have in his mouth? I'm gonna make you wait for it. Why this dog came and dropped some women's panties. Yep, you heard me. He came and dropped some women's panties right at my feet. First of all, ew. They was all rolled up. So if they was rolled up, you know that mean they was probably just worn and somebody took them hoes off and dropped them on the floor. And the dog went and got some woman's panties and dropped them at my feet. He's in the shower. I just met him. So I'm like, oh, hell no. Like, what here? Like, what is going on? Now, remind you, he's not my man yet. Second of all, but I done been through some things, so I'm kind of starting to trip. I'm starting to trip a little bit, but I'm telling myself, you know what, chill out. That'll be messed up if he just come out the shower, butt booty naked, and you gone. That's messed up. But at the same time, it's like, what is this? Your dog coming to bring me some other woman's panties. So I'm not knowing what to think right now. And so I feel like this shower is taking a long time. Now I got questions. Now I'm mad. I got questions. Now you want to sing Usher songs in the shower. Take your time and rub-a-dub-dub, scrub-a-dub-dub. Come on, let's go, sir. I'm going to need for you to get out because I want to know, what is this? Like, why is your dog bringing me random women's panties? And why are they here? So I couldn't even wait. I think I knocked on the door. I'm like, I need
to talk to you.
He like, okay, I'm about to come
out, you know, chill out.
So I'm over here like thinking all worst case scenarios. This man got me in another woman's house, this and that. And I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, but he showed me everything. He done walked me to every room. I didn't see no signs of a woman or nothing. But then I remember I wasn't really paying attention. He showed me the closet and everything. But I wasn't looking at all the clothes and stuff on the hangers. I wasn't looking and paying attention to all the mess around because there was shit everywhere. I'm thinking he just moved, he's gonna clean it up. So he gets out the shower and I'm like, your dog. Your dog dropped something. You want to explain to me and the dog and anyone else what's that? So he kind of laughed. And ain't shit funny to me at this point. So I'm like, you got women's drawers? And he was like, oh, those for my ex. Why you got women's drawers? Like, what you mean they for your ex? Like, what you talking about? And he was like, we recently broke up and we went our separate ways. And I got an apartment and she's still looking for a place. So I'm holding some of her stuff until she finds a place. You holding people's drawers? Like, does she live here? Like, so you had to hold her drawers? Because I'm the type, if I move somewhere, my drawers going with me because I need to wear them. And if my drawers is all scrunched up on the floor, hello? So here I am, my first time meeting somebody from online, and I'm in his home, and he's telling me that he just got out of a breakup. And he just got his new place, but his ex's things are at his house until she finds her place. I don't believe nothing you telling me no more at this point. But I just could not believe that your dog told on you. Had it not been for that dog doing that, I probably would have never known about that relationship. I would have never known about that current situation that he was in, how he ended up in that apartment. And like everything started to make sense. So that duration of the 2 months of the time that we were talking, the reason why he wasn't that consistent was obviously because he was in a relationship and he was ending his relationship, so he said. And I pretty much came in as the rebound. But shit, after your dog told on you, it wasn't about to be no rebound. Or was there? Because guess what? I ended up to continue to see him. That's gonna be another story time. I actually have a lot of stories behind this one person that I met from online dating. If y'all want to hear the rest of the stories, let me know down below. That's all I have for today. I'm not the best storyteller. I'm not sure what the etiquette is. I'm going to try to edit this the best way that I can. I hope y'all get a little kiki, a couple laughs out of it. But I'm going to come back around and make it with you later.